St. Paul and Minneapolis, the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Here, the Mississippi River begins winding its way down to New Orleans. This is a bustling business capital with plenty of public art, pristine parks, and the biggest shopping mall in the U.S. But what most people don't know is that Minneapolis-St. Paul is also Planet Luxury for discriminating ears. These are Pipedreams speakers, $100,000 worth of audio heaven. In these chic black towers, the company believes it's capturing great sound with feeling.
If you are going to reproduce music for the listener and preserve the emotional content, the more transparent the reproduction can be to the original event, the more you will preserve the emotional content of the original event.
Mike Shields says that sonically, the Pipedreams speakers do what the best should do: disappear.
The loudspeakers interact with the room in a way which is acceptable to your brain. And that is absolutely fundamental if the loudspeaker is going to disappear, which is what you want the loudspeaker to do. You don't want to listen to loudspeakers, you want to listen to music.
To create the Mercedes-Benz of sound, you need the finest parts.
The keys in loudspeaker manufacturing have a lot to do with adhesive technology, choosing the best parts in the speaker, the best cone materials. We use carbon fiber Kevlar blend cones, using the best surround suspension materials, and then choosing the right adhesives for bonding those together.
There are more than 100 steps in the manufacturing process for each pair of Primo speakers.
A loudspeaker is a very, very tight tolerance device. You've got a voice coil moving in a magnetic field where there may only be 10,000ths of an inch on either side of the voice coil. All of these parts have to be moving linearly for the speaker to operate. We have a state-of-the-art automated test system that tests the speaker for polarity, rub and buzz, total harmonic distortion, frequency response, small signal parameter variation. That's what that sweep does. In one sweep, we gather all of that information. The only speakers we'll use in this product are the speakers that pass this very stringent test.
A finished set of Pipedreams is made up of a pair of 2-meter towers in a walnut burl chassis and base, along with 4 walnut-wrapped woofers and 10 coats of hand-rubbed lacquer.
In this system, this tower is 40 tweeters. We have a total of 18 mid-range drivers. These drum-shaped affairs are the woofers. I've had people come listen to these speakers in this setting and wonder where the surround loudspeakers are. And there aren't any surround loudspeakers because the envelopment from these loudspeakers is quite complete, and there is no necessity for additional channels.
Pipedream speakers are so precise, they can capture all the emotion of live performance. Even from the king of instruments, this massive pipe organ at St. Paul's House of Hope Church.
The power of music on the human being, the human emotion, our mental state, is so incredible that if you're able to bring the liveness of live into your home and recreate it through technical means, you know, you've gotten one step closer to heaven, I suppose. If you were to be led into a dark room where these speakers were working and music was to be playing, you would be hard-pressed to know whether there were or were not musicians in that room.
You can have the same experience here in a residential room because we have the instrumentality in the form of these loudspeakers to provide the same kind of a sound picture that you get standing in the church listening to the pipe organ.
Up next, These towering sultans of sound are paradise for people with an ear and a bank account for luxury. We're off to Portugal for this man's recipe for total bliss, some dreamy jazz and some heavenly nectar. Porto, Portugal. Romanesque walls, Gothic cathedrals, cobblestone streets. A medieval city living in the 21st century. This is the birthplace of port, the deliciously sweet wine loved around the world. Connoisseurs make pilgrimages here to wander in 500-year-old vineyards and cellars. But in the hills behind the city, you'll find a man whose passion has to do with the ears, not the taste buds. This dentist has been on a lifelong quest for perfect sound at any price.
I'm Jorge Pacheco. I'm 56 years old. I'm a dental doctor, and my passion is music.
Living in a Portuguese villa that dates back to the mid-1800s might pose a problem for someone whose definition of luxury includes great audio. But Jorge Pacheco says his home makes a great natural sound studio.
I live in a house about 150 years old. This is the basement. Originally, it was the place where they keep a horse, and the walls are about 80 centimeters of concrete granite, and I think it's very neutral, not too much reverbative, not too much absorbative. It's a very good sounding room.
To hardcore audio addicts like George, good old vinyl is anything but passé. He says records produce the purest, warmest sound you can get.
Since 45 years, I'm always trying to find the best reproduction system I can get. Yes, I think I have the best CD player you can get now in the moment. It's from Canada.
On Planet Luxury, you can't listen to a world-class cache of recordings through just any old wooden boxes. George hunted for the very best speakers. He read about high-emotion audio in a magazine. He called the company's owner to order a pair of Pipedreams.
I decided to get that. And I contacted Craig by telephone. He was very kind, and I decided to buy it, and we get a deal, and he sent me the first pair, I think, to Europe.
The ultra-modern Pipedream speakers are right at home in this 150-year-old Portuguese villa. For George, the only thing better than listening to his Pipedreams is doing it with another connoisseur of sound. David Crozier and his expert ears have flown in from England to have a listen. This big-time wizard of audio has worked on Hollywood blockbusters like Harry Potter, Finding Neverland, and Bridget Jones' Diary.
My name's David Crozier. I'm a movie sound man. I've retired from the business and given me an opportunity now to do what I really want to do, is travel and listen to fine audio.
It's a concretization of a long-time passion for the music, and I always try to improve and to recreate in my home the sound and music I heard in live music and concerts I often go to hear.
It's a pleasure to listen to this very exclusive audio where the pin-sharp quality is something that's just not readily available unless you do make the trip from London. And so this is why I'm here, to gain the pleasure of audio. And the high emotion is the right word for it, because it is an emotional experience we're going to have here.
If you've come to Porto to listen to the best speakers on the planet, you just have to do it while sampling the world's finest port.
The thrill of being here amongst this fine equipment, the audio is, if one's listening carefully, is just as good as being at a live performance. The subtleties of the sound, that's why I've made the travel here, because I remember what it could be like, and now my dreams have been realized. It's quite very, very special to hear.
A beautiful evening in a Portuguese courtyard, the smell of roses mingling with the sea air. A cigar, a glass of port, and music flowing from the world's best speakers. Now that's the sound of Planet Luxury.